Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Today looking at another EDC crossbody bag from a company called Paladin33 or Paladin33, who are an American company that make all of their packs on site where they are in Oregon. In fact, when you get this and open it up, it smells like apple pie and freedom. Anyway, where was I? This is the Outback MK3. So I haven't been able to, full disclosure at this point, I did purchase this, and I also haven't had any experience with the Outback or the Outback MK2. The Outback MK3, this is my first having a look at their products, and I'm happy to say I'm very impressed with them. Now, as we usually do, we'll have a look at some dimensions, some materials, and then we'll have a look around the features of the pack itself. Now, what I'll do is I'll just take it off and move a little bit closer into the camera so that we can look at how beautiful this is. Now, I will skip past a point. We have to look at the measurements. This is available in a few different colours. This is the Ranger Green. I'm a huge fan of Ranger Green. As soon as I noticed that they had it in Ranger Green, I was like, that's the one that I want. But they also do, I can't think what it's called, I'll put it here, but it's a black bag with these beautiful poppies on there as well. I've seen, is it Oat Gear? Oat Gear do a similar top with a similar pattern on there as well. I need to pick up some of that stuff so I can show it off, because I think with the idea behind it, it means a lot to so many different people. But as far as the measurements are concerned, so this comes in at 9 inches by 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Now I'm actually going to call them out on this because I know that my span is exactly 9 inches and it's just that extra little bit longer. Maybe it's 9.5 inches. How dare you take that half an inch off? No, just kidding. But yes, so this is perfect for EDC, perfect for getting out into the country like this, perfect for city breaks, perfect for traveling as well. And I know I don't really mention this enough, but one of the beauties of bags like this is perfectly for traveling. The TSA or whoever, so certain packs have to be a certain size, but having something like this that you can just have on your chest, then have your backpack over the top of this, certainly is great. One for traveling and two for city breaks as well, which I know I harp on a lot about city breaks. Keeping something close to you as well as situational awareness is key to not having things took from you. Materials wise, they haven't scrimped on any materials on this whatsoever, so this is made from a 500D Cordura. All of the zippers on here, in fact, if I'm right in saying there are 3 zips. There might be one inside, I'm not too, there might be one inside. But either way, all of the external zips and the internal zip, if there is one, if my memory serves me, these are all YKK zips, and they are the newer RC style YKK zips. Not reverse stitched. They could have done that, but I'm not complaining. It's just nice to have that on some other ones, but they're great on here. The zipper pulls on here, so they still keep their YKK pulls on here, but then they've used this 550 paracord, which is nice. But what that also means is that if you did want to take these off, ooh, I swear by these zipper pulls, they're the best in the industry, then of course you can take these off and you can add your own as well. This can be used for CCW, so I know a lot of people on the one that you need to pull often take these off and put on something that's a little bit more obvious which one they have to pull, so that they can open that and get quicker access to their pew if needed. But again, it's a nice feature that it's on there. And then all of the buckles on here are Duraflex. Are they Duraflex? What are they? I did check. I'm sure they're Duraflex, I'm sure it did say. Anyway, I'll leave a note here what they are, but they're all decent hard wearing buckles. The webbing on here is ever so slightly different to some of the webbing that I've found before. It's not like seatbelt webbing, and it's not like that super tough Milspec webbing. It's almost as though instead of it being polyester, it's nylon, or it's the opposite way around. So it's almost got like a brushed twill feel to it. It's just as tough as the other stuff, but what you'll find is that if it does rub against your neck, you don't get any issues with it whatsoever. So I doff my cap to them for choosing this other webbing as well. It's very nice. Now, getting back to the features of the actual of the Outback itself, starting on the bottom, fairly plain panel on here. There are no lashing points. There's no grommet on the bottom. Try not to get it wet, but you know, there's nothing like that. So fairly plain and fairly low key. On the front here you have the Paladin33 logo, which I think is nice, and it also says here that it's made in Bend, Oregon, USA, which I think is a really nice feature. There is a quick access pocket here on the front, but quickly just looking onto the sides, you have some side compression straps, which again I think is quite nice. So this is larger than some of the other this style packs that we've had a look at in the past. So just the ability to be able to cinch this down if you know that you've got quite a lot in there, again I think is quite a nice feature, and probably something that other packs should add as well. On the front you have this quick access pocket. Now with a quick access pocket, it's also double zipped as well, so whether you're a lefty or a righty and which side you prefer to have the zips on there, it does give you that option. It uses the full width of here and also does go up into the top, so the top seam here and the bottom seam here is that full dimension, so it's 9.5 inches by 5.5 inches. You can fit in quite a lot. At this moment I have camera pouch that I keep my batteries in, but on the inside you do have some organization in here, so there are a few different little pockets, and they also use this it's like multicam, but like snow multicam. So there is a pocket on this side that's reasonably large, and then there are two smaller pockets, or there's two smaller pockets on that side as well, so you can put in maybe some tools or a pen, and then also at the top you have a small key stay. If I was to offer any feedback, it would be that this key stay could just do with being, or at least how it's attached to here, if that was maybe just a little bit longer, so when you're trying to get your keys in here you almost have to pull this top flap here, or I suppose this is the entrance into it where the zip is. You just have to pull it up just a little bit to kind of get to it. If this was maybe, say, 10, maybe even 20 mil longer, it would just make it a little easier to get to your keys. A small observation, certainly nothing that would stop me not recommending this. Again, just a small observation. Now to the main, let's call this the main EDC section to the pack. Again, we have double zips, so whether you're a lefty and want to open this way, or you're righty and you want to open that way, or if you just want to keep them in middle and, you know, just rip it open, then you can do. If you want to, actually, it will rip open because of the YKK zips on here. They are super smooth. But then on the inside here, this is your main compartment where you can put all of your EDC stuff. On the back, or at least on the inside here, you have another pocket, which again, they're very proud of the fact that these are made in the USA, made in Oregon. So on the back panel here, there is a slip pocket, which easily fits in my mobile phone, no issues getting that into there whatsoever. Then in front of that, you then have the main compartment here, where I have my car keys just kind of rattling around in there as well. If I wanted to keep those separate from the rest of the pack, on this side as well, there is another zip section here, which gives you access to another pocket where I have my lens cover. So there's quite a bit of options, especially when it comes to storage. If you want to keep your keys separate from your mobile phone so that they don't scratch, or whatever it is that you want to do, then you can fit those in here and you've got that option should you need it. Now, I did touch on this is perfect for CCW, whether you're using that in the city, or maybe it is that you're out walking and you need to be mindful of moose, bears, whatever it is, wolves. Then there is this, and there is an additional section which is here on the back. So this is the bit that stays closest to you. So when you're trying to look down to grab the zipper to rip and open this, obviously if you're using it for CCW, you need to make sure that you practice as much as possible. I know I'm an Englishman talking about this, but from what I understand, practice is key so that you can get to that as quickly as possible. But then on the inside here, you have a hook and loop back to this. So pretty much, well, I'd say any or all hook and loop holsters will fit on here, and it will attach straight away. There also is, where is it now? Just here, you can see that there. There's one of those loops as well. I forget the name of the holsters. In fact, what's the name of the holster? Put it down in the comments here, the ones that fit just over the trigger guard, so that you can rip them out and it will leave the holster in here, and then you can do whatever it is that you need to do. So there is something on the bottom here that you can attach one of those holsters, again, should you need to. One of the beauties, and I think this is very well thought through, is the fact that, so here's your CCW section, and on the back here you've got a lot of padding, so whatever you have on there isn't going to kind of impact against you whilst you're walking and you're out and about. But what they've also done is, it feels like the same thickness in padding in between the wall between your CCW section and your EDC section. So whatever you have in the back here, which is your pew-pew, will be protected, or at least the opposite way around is whatever is in the front section. So if it is that you did have your mobile phone in here, it would be protected against your pew-pew that is in here as well. Very well thought out. There are a lot of companies making packs like these that don't put in that detail, and it's just, yeah, it's nice that it has it. On the back we have some of this really nice air mesh. So rather than using the Cordura that is on the or at least across the top and the sides and the front here, Cordura is just a very tough material, but when it's against you, it certainly doesn't allow any air to get in there. So having that on it will just allow a little bit more air to be able to breathe through the back panel. Will it stop you from sweating against it? No, it'll just allow a more air through there to be able to circulate it through so that it doesn't get as hot whilst it's riding against you. But with it being the outback coming out into the woods like this, it's spring now, but in the summer it will get hot, it will get humid. Again, just a really nice feature that's added on there, and also because of that padding that's in there, just adds to that as well. I've talked long and hard about this next point, and I'm so glad that this is like this, but the way that your bag hangs makes so much of a difference on how it carries. So a lot of companies tend to put these so that they are symmetrical here in the middle, and what happens is when it's heavy, it just wants to, or at least when I'm holding it and it's on me, it wants to rotate around like that, which isn't the best. Going old school, like those old, I know this is called a fanny pack. Here in the UK, fanny is another word for a vagina. So we tend to call them bum bags, which is your arse. But anyway, so having it like an old school bum bag where these are at the top, yes, you might get some of that, but it stops it from wanting to rotate. So when you're carrying this, it sits perfectly flat on your chest, which is great. If you want to move it round, it fits and it sits perfectly flat against your back as well, especially if you're carrying reasonably heavy things in here, which again, I guess for the CCW side, knowing that it's there and it's not moved around across your chest will make sure that you can withdraw that a lot easier. On the sides as well, so there is also so here's let's call this the wing here off, and then there's also a small piece of webbing here, so if you did want to attach something to here, maybe you're out walking and you've got a water bottle that you can clip to this, you can attach these, and these are on both sides. And then you come round to the webbing for the actual belt itself. Now, as I mentioned, so the webbing on this is really nice. It's just got almost, I got suede in my head then, it's not suede, but you know how on suede it's just got that kind of napped feel to it, and this is the same. As I mentioned, if you do wear this with a t-shirt, and I'm wearing a shirt today, but if you wear this with a t-shirt and it does ride against your neck, it's not as abrasive as you get with that Milspec webbing. However, it's absolutely bomber. Now, as far as the maximum that you can get with this, I'll leave the exact measurement here, but if I put this over my shoulder, it carries like a lady's purse. So there's a lot of length with this. I have mine, where's the bit? Just about there. I think this bit's a bit too long. But what you get extra for the retention of the straps is you get these, it's a piece of sewn over elastic. So when it's on, it helps to keep those straps out of the way. I do quite like this. However, what I will do is I'm actually going to take these off and I'm going to buy some of those slip D-rings, because what I do find is sometimes when I take this off or I kind of move it around my body, that it does move and it does bunch up a little bit like that. It's not a massive negative, in fact, but it's just something that I've noticed. I certainly don't find that I need to readjust or kind of unslacken things once I know that it's on and I've got it about right. If it is that it's in the winter and I'm wearing this over a jacket, then I'll just loosen it and kind of lift it up just a little bit. But I will be swapping those out for just some of those D-rings that you slide down and it keeps it in place. Again, it's just personal choice. I'm not unhappy with these. But yeah, that's a slight modification that I'll be making to that. But other than that, really impressed with this. Paladin33 have crafted a very nice crossbody bag here. Whether you're not in a country that you need it for CCW or whether you're in a country that you do need it for CCW, either way, yeah, it's just a great pack to be able to add on and be out and about. Now, I do talk about this a lot, so I'll just quickly go over this. And as I mentioned at the beginning, keeping things prying hands away from you is super important. The most important thing is situational awareness, just knowing what's around you, but having a pack on the front of you like this, if somebody wants to try and get into here, they have to get within this area to be able to do that. Or even just moving it underneath your armpit is great because it's a moving item that goes in front of something. With packs like this as well, in the winter, if you want to put a jacket over the top of this and slide it underneath your armpit, you can still do that and it's still reasonably minimal, if it's a large bulky jacket, that is. And the last very useful benefit of these is the fact that you can have this on your chest whilst you're out driving. You can still get a seatbelt over this and still make sure that you're safe. But if you're in a situation where you need to get out of a vehicle as quickly as possible and still take your valuables with you, this is another huge benefit for crossbody bags like this. So yeah, super happy with this. I'll definitely highly recommend it, and I doff my cap to Paladin33 with this. Now, of course, I'll leave all of their links below so that you can see more from them and where you can pick one of these up. I'll also leave some of my social media links here on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel Moorlander Tactical. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Shit, was it called? Doing all this, and I know who it's made by. It's called the Outback MK3. I knew it was called the Outback MK3. And there we go. See, out in the woods again with a great piece of everyday carry equipment. What we hear today is the Outback. Company Paladin33 or Paladin33, and this is the Outback MK3. So I guess there were 3 other previous versions before, or 2 other previous. You again. Let's start that again, shall we, children? Shall we? Come on, Knobhead. It's not hard. It's bloody English. You should be able to speak English, and it's not Morelandese. Morelandese is your first natural language, but bloody English. Anyway, where were we? Let's move up just a wee bit, a wee bit. That's better. Is it? Are a US company that make all of their packs in the US. In fact, when you get this and you open it up, it smells like apple pie and freedom. But this is the Outback. I don't know where I was going with that apple pie and freedom. Oh, damn it! I'll have to start again. Sorry, that made me giggle. Giggle. Anyway. This is Moorlander EDC looking at more crossbody packs today with a bollock. Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Today looking at another EDC crossbody bag.